guys, welcome to episode 8 of Boss Talk Tuesday with me, your favorite transformation coach, Angela Williams, aka Angela Motivates. Well, those who have been joining me each and every week already know the rules and what to do, right? You're going to spread some love by letting someone know that the video is here. You're going to introduce yourself in the comment section and let me know where you're viewing me from. And if you're viewing me on replay, simply put hashtag replay. I want to welcome the new viewers and also my new subscribers on YouTube. Yay! I'm so excited about that. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, on today's episode of Boss Talk Tuesday, I want to talk to you guys about how are you coping? How are you coping through those difficult challenges that may be going on in your life at this moment? Because I know that I'm going through a lot, okay? But the way that I choose to have a positive coping mechanisms is I spend time doing things that I enjoy. I love to read, so I'm reading, right? I'm keeping books before me. And also I like to write, so I do that to help me cope during those difficult moments so that I can keep my positivity and my emotional stability in a great space. Because life can hit you so hard, if you're not mentally and emotionally prepared for it, it will knock you out. You won't be able to move forward in your purpose. You won't be able to be who you need to be for who you need to be. You know what I mean? So it is very important that you choose and tap into those coping mechanisms wisely. So let's take a look at some bad coping mechanisms to kind of help you out, to give you the tools of what you should be doing versus what you shouldn't be doing. So some bad coping mechanisms would be to overeat when you're stressed out. Overeating is just not a good thing, guys, because why? You don't want to add a health problem on top of a minute problem. You know, this problem may seem like a big challenge, but it's very temporary. And you don't want the storm to pass and then you have now a new health crisis because you've overeat or overate and or overeaten, whatever it is. I'm not going to get stuck on a word, but anyway, whatever the case may be, you find yourself now having high cholesterol, high blood pressure, you know, all of these things that you may not have had before, all because you didn't know how to handle or process the challenge. Well, the whole point of actually tapping into those coping mechanisms will help you to clear your mind and create a space that will give you the ability to use wisdom in that circumstance. So, picking up the phone to call a positive girlfriend who can encourage you through some of these challenges is also a great way to cope. But we're talking about bad. Guys, I am just all over the place today. I'm sorry. It has been a long week for me. But let's go back to the bad coping mechanisms. Another bad coping mechanism would be to overspend. Again, you don't want to do that because you don't want to utilize your funds on something that you're not going to use. You know, you're buying temporary satisfaction. When no, guys, you don't want to be having all of these things around your house that it's a instant gratification, but is it a necessary, thing? So you don't want to do that. Another bad coping mechanism would be to abuse yourself or abuse others. Because I know that sometimes when people are very stressed out, they tend to outwardly affect the people that are around them negatively. So you don't want anyone to experience you in a negative fashion while you're going through, because you may need that person, and that person is like, well, you were just mean to me, so now you're needing my help. So you don't want to do that. All right, so that was some bad coping mechanisms. So what are some good coping mechanisms? Good coping mechanisms would be to actually tap into what you enjoy doing. Some of you may enjoy running. Some of you may enjoy walking. Those are great ways to distress. Some of you may like to go swim, find an indoor pool and actually go for a swim. Being around water relaxes you, Some people are very in tune with music. So maybe it means to get yourself surrounded by some maybe gospel music, trap music, whatever your thing is. If it's trap music, if it's rap music, if it's classical, if it's jazz, you know what I mean. So surround yourself with the music so that it will take your focus off of the attack that's being brought against you by the enemy, so that you can in turn start, getting your wheels turning as to what you need to do in this situation. Also, journaling for some who are visual. Now, journaling really works for people who are visual because they can actually journal their thoughts. And I always encourage journaling from a positive perspective. Like, hey, yeah, I'm being challenged right now, but I'm getting through it. And let me write down the thing that is helping me to get through it. Whether that be, I went for a 15-minute walk today to clear my mind. That has truly helped me in the midst of this trial, because we don't want to focus on the trial. We want to focus on our coming out of it, right? So journaling for those who are visual learners is a great tool to implement for your coping mechanism. Those who are more audible may love and enjoy doing affirmations. So that's a great way for you to implement your strategy. You want to, affirm where you are in this battle. Even though it may feel like it's tough, it may feel like you're actually losing the battle, to implement those affirmations will remind you, it will put your subconscious mind in remembrance of who you truly are. You are more than a conqueror. You are victorious in every area. And so it just feels so empowering to stand in the mirror and to say, I am winning. I am victorious. I am accomplishing my goals, or whatever the case may be. So those are some good coping mechanisms. So what I want you guys to walk away from this week's episode of Boss Talk Tuesdays is to really look at how you handle stress. Because if you can pinpoint how you handle stress, and without withdrawing, without overeating, without overthinking, without doing all of these things, then you can truly position yourself for the next storm that comes. You can it's like you can go ahead and get prepared as to what you need to do before the next storm hits. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, if you have servicemen that are getting ready to go out and fight a war, and they turn around and they say, oh, well, I'm just going to go out and get me some food and overeat, they're going to get harmed because their focus is on overeating and not the army that's facing them, right? You don't want them to withdraw and say, oh, I'm just going to go in my little bubble and withdraw. I'm not going to actually participate in this fight because this is just too much for me. No, your life is on the line. And that's how you have to see every challenge that comes to you. It's your life that's on the line, meaning your purpose is on the line, because we're all here for a greater purpose. But if you're so focused on the negative coping mechanisms, then you are missing out on the greatest fight for your life. You have to silence the enemy. The enemy is working against you 24/7. But if you're over here working against your own self, then you're defeated. And we know that God did not create any defeated persons who believe and trust in him. All right, so that's all that I have for this week's episode, guys. And I thank you so much again for joining me. And I look forward to connecting with you on next week. All right, take care.